Hello, and today I'm going to be reading Coraline by Neil Gaiman. Chapter 1. Coraline. Coraline discovered the door a little after they moved into the house. It was a very old house. It had an attic under the roof, a cellar under the ground, and an overgrown garden with huge old trees in it. Coraline's family didn't own all of the house. It was too big for that. Instead, they owned part of it. There were other people who lived in the old house. Miss Spink and Miss Forcible lived in the flat below Coraline's. They were both old and round, and lived with a number of aging Highland Terriers. Once upon a time, they had both been actresses. Caroline, both myself and Miss Forcible were famous actresses in our time. We trod the boards, lovey. Oh, don't let Hamish eat the fruitcake, or he'll be up all night with his tummy. It's Coraline, not Caroline. Coraline. In the flat above Coraline's, under the roof, was a crazy old man with a big mustache. He told Coraline that he was training a mouse circus. He wouldn't let anyone see it. You asked me why you cannot see it now. Is that what you asked me, little Caroline? No, I asked you not to call me Caroline. It's Coraline. The reason you cannot see the mouse circus is that the mice are not ready and rehearsed. All the songs I have written for the mice to play go oompa oompa, but the white mice will only play toodle-oodle like that. I am thinking of trying them on different types of cheese. Coraline didn't think there was really a mouse circus. She thought the old man was probably making it up. The day they moved in, Coraline went exploring. She explored the garden. It was a very big garden. At the very back was an old tennis court, but the net had mostly rotted away. There was an old rose garden filled with stunted, fly-blown rosebuds, a rockery that was all rocks, and a fairy ring made of squiddy brown toadstools that smelled dreadful if you trod on them. Ew. There was also a well. On the first day Coraline's family moved in, Miss Spink and Miss Forcible made a point of telling Coraline, "It's a very dangerous well, so you stay well away from it." So Coraline set off to explore for it, so that she knew where it was to keep away from it properly. She found it on the third day in an overgrown meadow behind the tennis court. The well had been covered up by boards to stop anyone from falling in. Coraline spent the afternoon dropping pebbles through the hole in one of the boards and waiting and counting until she heard a plop as they hit the water far below. 47, 48, 49, plop. Coraline also explored for animals. She found a hedgehog and a snakeskin, but no snake. She found a rock that looked just like a frog and a toad that looked just like a rock. There was also a naughty black cat that watched her, but slipped away if she ever went over to try to play with it. Coraline had to dress up warm before going out exploring, for it was a very cold summer that year, but go out she did every day until the rains came, and she had to stay inside. Mom, what should I do? Read a book, watch a video, go and pester Miss Spink or Miss Forcible or the crazy old man upstairs. I don't want to do those things. I want to explore. I really don't mind what you want to do as long as you don't make a mess. Coraline watched the rain come down. It was the kind of rain that meant business, and currently its business was turning the garden into a muddy, wet soup. She had watched all the videos, she was bored with her toys, and she'd read all her books. It was time to visit her father in his study. She walked down the hall. "Hello, Coraline." "It's raining." "Yep, it's bucketing down." "No, it's just raining. Can I go outside?" "What does your mother say?" "She says you're not going out in weather like that, Coraline Jones." "Then no." "But I want to carry on exploring." "Then explore the flat." Here's a piece of paper and a pen. Count all the doors and windows. Mount an expedition to discover the hot water tank. And leave me alone to work. Can I go into the drawing room? The drawing room was where the Joneses kept the expensive and uncomfortable furniture Coraline's grandmother had left them when she died. Coraline wasn't allowed in there. Nobody went in there. It was only for best. If you don't make a mess and if you don't touch anything. Coraline considered this carefully and went off to explore the inside of the flat. She discovered the hot water tank. Tank in cupboard. She counted the windows. Tank in cupboard. 21 windows. She counted the doors. Tank in cupboard. 21 windows. 14 doors. Of the doors she found, 13 opened and closed. The other big carved brown wooden door at the far corner of the drawing room was locked. Mom, where does that door go to? Nowhere, dear. It has to go somewhere. Look. Her mother was right. The door didn't go anywhere. When this place was just one house, that door went somewhere. When they turned the house into flats, they simply bricked it up. The other side is an empty flat on the other side of the house. The one that's still for sale. She shut the door and went to put the key back on top of the kitchen door frame. You didn't lock it. Why should I? It doesn't go anywhere. It was really dark outside now, and the rain was still coming down. That night, her father made dinner. It's leek and potato stew with a tarragon garnish and melted Gruyere cheese. Daddy, you've made a recipe. Ick. If you tried it, maybe you'd like it. It's disgusting. The night Coraline lay awake in her bed, the rain had stopped, and she was almost asleep when something went tick, 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 creak. Did I dream that? Something moved. It was little more than a shadow, and it scudded down the darkened hall fast like a little patch of night. She hoped it wasn't a spider. Spiders made her intensely uncomfortable. The black shape went into the drawing room. She followed it a little nervously. But Mom shut this door, I'm sure. Click. Coraline went back to bed. She dreamed of black shapes that slid from place to place, avoiding the light until they were all gathered together under the moon. Their faces were high and whispering and slightly whiny. They made Coraline feel uncomfortable. We are small, but we are many. We are many, we are small. We were here before you rose. We will be here when you fall. Then Coraline dreamed a few commercials, and after that she dreamed nothing at all. And that is the end of Chapter 2. If you enjoyed Chapter 1, make sure to come back for Chapter 2. And that was Chapter 1 of Coraline by Neil Gaiman. Hope you liked it, and come back for Chapter 2. Goodbye.